Diolch di'r Prwy, Llywydd. Thank you for your statement, First Minister, and I hope that all your family and loved ones are well. The World Health Organization has been very clear, and they say that what we need to do is test, test, test. They say we need to test every suspected case of coronavirus because they tell us that failing to test is like trying to fight a fire blindfolded. Now, I've been sat in isolation for 2 weeks, and ultimately I was able to get a test from a private company, and it showed that I don't have coronavirus. And my dad has just had heart surgery, so my mother was extremely relieved to hear that, with the worry that I might have passed something on. Now, many families are in this situation, so I think tests should be readily available for every suspected case, particularly of key workers, and particularly of key workers whose family are showing symptoms. And as a result, NHS workers right now are in isolation because their family members cannot be tested. If we're able to test, then we can get the economy moving, keep the frontline services going, and protect people in the NHS who are very, very brave people, put themselves on the line, doing a heroic job for every one of us here. The World Health Organization say that testing is a fundamental part of fighting the pandemic because we need to know where the virus is if we're going to fight it. The testing kits can be readily available, but they're so very difficult to come across. But it doesn't have to be like that. So what action will you take to ensure that all suspected cases of coronavirus are tested? Because this is what the World Health Organization is calling for. So my first part of the contribution is, will you listen to the World Health Organization and follow advice and take action to make sure every suspected case is tested? Secondly, I want to raise the matter of people stuck abroad. I've received messages from people while sat here in Australia, there are constituents in the Gambia, there are constituents still in Peru, and there seems to be inertia on the part of the UK government. So what will the Welsh Government do? Will the Welsh Government step up to the plate and support our people who are stuck abroad? And some people are lacking medication as well. They'll need medication very shortly because they didn't plan to stay so long. So in terms of those stuck abroad, what will the Welsh Government do in the circumstances? Diolch yn fawr.
First Minister.
Thank Deputy Llywydd, and thank the member for his personal good wishes at the start, and it's very good to know that his own test proved negative and that he's able to be here this morning. On the business of testing, of course, we are aware of the advice of the World Health Organization, but that advice is mediated for us by the 4 chief medical officers and by the Scientific Advisory Group, because the World Health Organization, it's a world body, its advice applies across a vast number of countries, and it has to be then interpreted in the local context. And we test that regularly with the people who advise us. They're absolutely aware of the WHO advice, and they make sure that they then give us the best advice as to how what the WHO is saying can be put to work in the local context. My colleague Vaughan Gethin will say more, I'm sure, when he's answering questions about the rapid rise in the number of tests we are going to be able to carry out here in Wales, and particularly in a point that Neil McAvoy made, how we can make sure that those people at the front line and who are out of work because they are self-isolating, how we can accelerate their return to the workplace. I'm very aware of the points the member made about people who are abroad. All of us, I'm sure, will be hearing from families in our constituencies who are in that position. My understanding is that the position in Peru has been resolved and that people are being brought home. What we do as a government is to make sure that the Foreign and Commonwealth Office are alert to and know about the circumstances of Welsh citizens. We don't have a locus as a Welsh government that allows us to negotiate directly with other foreign governments. They will only deal with the member, with a state-level organisation. But we make sure that we collect information the members pass to us and then advocate on behalf of those Welsh citizens with those who have the ability to make those decisions and to make them in a way that provides the help that people who are stuck elsewhere desperately need.